Hey everyone, my name is Marika Day. I am an AIA Vitality Ambassador and a dietitian and nutritionist, and today we are in the kitchen doing a little bit of a meal prep. Now the goal for this meal prep is that we're trying to get in at least 30 different types of plants into our weekly meal plan. The reason for this is that research shows that the more variety and diversity we have in our diet and in the plants that we're consuming, the better our gut microbiota is. So I guess in terms of overall health outcomes, it is a much better outcome for both our health, for ourselves personally, and also for our gut. I'm going to start with breakfast. So what we have got for breakfast here is some rolled oats and chia seeds. Now again, we're adding in those chia seeds for a little bit more fiber. And again, giving us another plant there that we can add to our little diversity box. What we're going to do with these oats is we're going to cook them each day. Now with oats, they're fantastic to cook again ahead. So if you wanted to just let them sit in the fridge, soak them in milk, pop them in the fridge, and then you can pull them out each day and cook them each day, or you could have them cold as well as overnight oats. I like to just cook mine fresh on the day, so we're not going to cook any today, but I just wanted to show you sort of how we can get more plant-based diversity into our breakfast. I'm going to be topping them each day with some frozen berries. Now, as you can see here, I've got a few different types of berries in here. So I've chosen a 3-berry mix. So we've got blackberries, blueberries, and strawberries. And again, this is just a really easy way for you to get in more variety in terms of your fruit. Now this is completely optional, but it's just again another way to get in another type of plant into your diet by using soy milk. Soy milk actually does have dietary fiber in it, so again, it is something that is good for our gut as well. So that's just another little sneaky tip. So let's move on to snacks. So again, a sneaky little tip to get in more plants into your diet is to mix up the types of nuts that you're having. So this here is from Coles, and it is the dry roasted nut mix. So there's no added salt or fats or anything on it, just roasted as is. And what we've got in there is walnuts, almonds, pistachios, macadamias, and cashews. And hazelnuts. We have apples. So another serve of fruit throughout the day. As you'll see, I've also got some bananas here, so let's count that as another 2. I like to have a little bit of tuna for protein. Now this is completely optional whether you choose to or not, but for me, really easy way to get in some protein. Obviously not a plant, but protein. So what I do for lunches is I get a vegetable mix, so like a coleslaw mix, or this one's called a superfood veggie mix. And again, the reason I get this is because it provides me with obviously a variety of different flavors and textures within that, but again, it gives you those different plants within there. So in this mix in particular, we have cabbage, kale, carrot, and beetroot. Then we're going to go a brown rice, really easy. Brown rice takes about 30 to 40 minutes to cook if you're doing it on the stove top, so this is a really quick and easy win. Yeah, it does use a bit more plastic, so obviously it's a bit more environmentally friendly to cook it yourself, but if you're looking for a quick win for your health, that's a good option. Then tomatoes, and then some avocado mixed through. So what I do is I sort of, I'll heat up the rice and then just sort of toss it all together, chop up the tomatoes and then put some avocado on top and use the oil from the tuna as my dressing. Super delicious, super yum, and does not take long at all. And as you can see, it's all stuff that you can just keep in the fridge at work, or you can keep in the cupboard or the fridge at home. Yeah, super easy to prepare, and you can change the flavor of it by using different flavored tunas, or you could use, as I said, like you could just do chickpeas if you're looking for a plant-based option. You could do tofu, or you could use some chicken or something like that. It's a really simple and easy curry. And what we're using is just a curry powder in this one. So we're not even using curry paste or anything. It's a really sort of cheap and easy curry. So what we've got in here is onion, garlic, and ginger, and we've just fried that off together. Then we've added in our curry powder, followed by some coconut milk, some water, and now we've got our chopped up pumpkin in there, just cooking away within the coconut water. So it's starting to cook down, and the pumpkin is starting to get nice and soft, and the curry is starting to get nice and thick. And then what we're going to do is add in our chickpeas, and we're going to serve that with some quinoa as well. So I'm just going to put the quinoa on. Now you'll see I'm using a tri-coloured quinoa. Reason for this is that we're actually getting a little bit more diversity again. So we've got 3 different types of quinoa in there. You buy it as all in the one packet, so you don't have to buy 3 packets of quinoa. But again, the benefit of this is that we're getting, I guess they're the same plant, but we're getting 3 different types of the same plant, which is a really good benefit in terms of your gut as well, because it's the different nutrients, the different colours in that provide different nutrients. The thing I love about quinoa as well is that it stores really well. So if you want to cook up a big batch for the week ahead, you can just cook it, let it cool, pop it in the fridge, and then you can pull it out throughout the week. So it's a really easy way to sort of bulk up the fibre in many of your meals. So whether it be like salads, whether it be, you know, having it on the side with the curry like we're doing, lots of different ways that you can have that. Those chickpeas have just been rinsed and we're popping them in. So chickpeas are acting as our source of plant-based protein in this meal. So this is a plant-based meal, the one we're cooking today, completely vegan. And if you wanted to add another source of protein in there, you could absolutely add some tofu in there as well, if you're looking to sort of beef it up a little bit more. Alternatively, if you did want to add some animal protein in there, you could do this with a chicken or a prawn, really anything. On top of our curry, we are going to add in some coriander. Now, depending on how much coriander you actually have, will determine whether this technically counts as a serve. But in saying that, what you are getting by adding herbs in is a lot of antioxidants. So herbs are a great source of phytonutrients and antioxidants. So I technically do think, even if you are just adding a sprinkle on top, I do think they do count as your extra plant in a week. So we're going to add that in. What we are going to do as well is we're going to serve that with some green beans. And the other dinner that I'm going to be doing this week is a salmon, so a pan-fried salmon. I'll cook this fresh. I prefer my salmon cooked fresh rather than sort of preparing it in advance. Obviously doesn't count to one of our plants, but is obviously a great source of healthy fats and omega-3s. What we are serving that with though will count as our plants. Sweet potato, or you could use regular potato. What we're going to do is cut this into chips and roast them in the oven, so we're having our like variation on fish and chips. And then we're going to serve that with some broccoli and some edamame beans. And as I said, we've only got 2 dinners in there and 1 lunch. So if you are having, you know, this lunch for maybe half of the week and then switching it up for, let's say, a whole grain wrap, you're adding in a whole bunch of other plants into there. So you could easily hit 30 plus, you could hit 40, 50 even throughout the week if you are having different lunches and different dinners every night. One of my tips, aside from picking like the packets of things that have a variety of different nuts and fruits and everything in them, is to just change up. Like if you're somebody who only has broccoli as your vegetable at nighttime, try and mix it up so you're having different things on different nights. So, you know, one night have broccoli and carrot, and then maybe the next night have green beans and sweet potato. And then just alternate through those. So trying to pick, you know, 1 new fruit or 1 new vegetable that you can have each week or each night, depending on what's a realistic goal for you. What I'm going to do now though is portion this up, pop this into some containers, and this is going to be our yummy, yummy dinner this week.